Just shooting a quick video. This will be part one, although it's going to be one video, but part one is going to be tonight. I've already got it out of the box, but a reel I picked up from Temu for under 15 bucks. Somebody did an order, so I just added this to it and just wanted to give it a go. I've spent that much money online in the past only to throw away 3/4 of the spool, actually the whole spool if you include the line I took off after one outing. So I figured it was worth a shot. And tomorrow I'm going to have it out on the water tomorrow morning, and I'll kind of do a quick follow-up, which I'll just put at the end of this video, and kind of talk about how it casted, how it worked. Hopefully I'll catch a fish on it, maybe even a muskie. We'll see. And then part three, I guess you could call it, would be either when it breaks down or the end of the season with my thoughts on how it's holding up. So right here it is a 18+1 ball bearing with a 7:2:1 gear ratio, and I'll just kind of show you the line capacity there. It's in meters, so that for me that really doesn't do much, but kind of here's the specs on the side of the box. It is a left-hand reel. Now I did turn it over. Yeah, there is a little bit of gear noise. Let's hold it here and see if you can hear. Do not have this on a tripod, but so it's not perfect. Sorry about that. But no, there is a little bit of gear noise, and it doesn't feel geary, but the gear noise is there. So maybe eventually I will hit it with some lube and some oil on the bearings. But for now, I just want to fish it as it is out of the box. It's got these foam handles, which remind me of the lues that taper, but these obviously kind of have essentially two round, I guess, balls on there, but they really don't compress, and they feel comfortable. We'll see after a day's use. And the only thing that worries me is the frame seems very cheap plastic, but we'll see how it holds up. I don't want to jump to conclusions here, but I would say it's on par with some of the bait casters I bought before. I bought some Lew's, Pinnacles, maybe even like a cheap, going back, Quantum, and those were in the $30 to $40 range, and it kind of looks like those, but we'll see how it holds up. And I do want to speak a little bit to the geary. This one sounds it a little bit, but like I said, I've got two Quantum Icons that see a ton of use for me, and they definitely sound geary, feel a little bit geary, but not horrible. I've got two Fluger Presidents. One's a little bit better than the other, just as far as like the product line, but one of those is so geary feeling that I actually just stopped using it. The second one, I was able to get a whole bunch of gear lube in there, and it actually feels a little bit better. It's tolerable. So you can get geariness in even better reels. President's not a great high price reel, but it's one that a lot of people swear by. The Quantum Icon I got on a great deal, but it wasn't exactly a cheap reel, so the geariness doesn't scare me away at all, just because I've got a lot of reels that feel that way. Heck, even some $200 reels that feel that way, but it doesn't really affect performance on the water or how many fish I catch, so we will see. So hopefully the on the water test goes good tomorrow, and then hopefully after this video, the next one you see is at the end of the summer, meaning it made it all the way through. So this concludes part one, and we'll see how I'm talking about it tomorrow. All right, so we got part 2. Now, when I was out on the water, I can tell you I was honestly waiting for this thing to fail, to do something bad to happen. Because in my head, this thing was a cheap reel, which it is. I looked right now, it's 17 bucks on Temu. And I didn't say this up front, this reel was bought, well, not with my money, but with my dad's money. He purchased this for me. This was not gifted to me anyway by the manufacturer, so this is 100% unbiased. I just wanted to try it and see if it was garbage or not. I can tell you 100% this thing is not garbage. I'm actually fishing it side by side with my Quantum Icon, which I had said is geary. The amount of geariness on that, you feel it every time you reel it, on the Icon that is, and this thing's about as good as some of my Abus. I've got STX and SX and S. Honestly, the cheapest one, the S, is probably the smoothest, but yeah, this thing, super smooth, it's super good. Drag, had some concerns before I spooled it up that the drag wasn't going to have a lot of adjustment, but it does. Casting, I only backlashed twice, and that was just me overpowering the cast. Usually when I backlash, and so I guess you could say I was testing it, but it backlashes just like any other reel. So basically what I found with a bait caster, if you get out of sync and don't load up the rod properly and then cast, you run a pretty high risk of overspeeding the spool, and that's what happened twice. I will say it gave me a pretty spectacular backlash, but that was the only times, and those were operator error, not the reel. Now, as you can see, I got the cast control set pretty high, but to be honest, if I were to pull over my luge here, it'd be set just about the same. I probably set the spool looser and go with the cast controls higher, but I'm not a bomb caster by any sense of the stretch of the means with bait casters, but I do all right. And I will say this is a little 1/4 ounce War Eagle. You can see I got my boat box there. It was in the shop this week and I didn't really think it through. I had to shut off the fan for the video. We've got tremendous amounts of rain in Wisconsin this spring, so the boat is just soaked in the interior compartment. So I've been a little later than should be. I've been running fans to dry out the compartments, but yeah, through this 1/4 ounce spin really well, and I caught a really solid probably 17-inch. I didn't put it on the scale, but it was definitely heavy. Largemouth 3 pike on it, so I got 4 fish on it. 4 of my 5 fish today came on this reel and rod, and this is an old Prodigy. So for you braid users, I don't know, I think Daiwa made these, so maybe it's like the Arid that everybody raves about. But man, these old Prodigies got a nice moderate action, which I prefer fishing braid because it helps keep the fish buttoned, but that's a different topic for a different day. But yeah, this combo casted really nice, and I mean, the reel honestly worked great. The handles, I actually like the handles. They're actually really comfortable. Looking at it last night, the way that I do reel, spool them up, I'll probably do a video on that sometime, but I was using a second bait caster, a Lew's Hero, whatever, I forget the type of reel, but it's the cheap Lew's, and I commented about the plastics on the bottom of this, and I looked at the cheaper lues, and it was honestly, it looked very similar, material wise, and I had no problem throwing that reel. So again, I think actually this outperformed that reel. But yeah, it casted smooth, it reeled smooth enough, much smoother than my Icon, not smoother than my Daiwa Viento or whatever that is, the one with the little twitch bar on the top, but the high end one that originally was a $400 or $500 reel. I did not pay that, but that reel's super smooth, but this reel probably outcasts it. It has, it does what I needed to do, and I got the distance I needed. Accuracy comes down to the spool, so that's more on the rod. So yeah, this reel does everything I need to. So now it's gonna definitely get a torture test in the Northwoods of Wisconsin over the summer, and it'll get a summer's worth of use. And honestly, this combo, because I love the rod as well, will be in the boat every time I'm out there. So yeah, this is gonna get a lot of use this summer, and I honestly think I'm hoping, with how good it worked today, I'm hoping we're talking about this thing at the end of the season with a follow-up on how good it was. And to be honest, I'm half tempted to have my dad pick me up two more of these as spares to the Quantum Icons, or to be honest, I'm half tempted to take out the Quantum Icons and replace them with these. So we'll see, but yeah, I'm kind of thinking about picking up a couple more. And I know it's one trip, but I don't know how often they turn over stuff at Temu, but this reel has been there quite a while, so we'll see. I really like it though. I'm really shocked because my brain told me to hate it, and I really liked it. And I think you can also get this brand on Amazon if you don't like Temu. I did show the box close up, so that might have the model, but I don't know. This, it's only one trip, but honestly, it's better than some of the name brands I've used after one trip. We'll see if it lasts, but so far so good. Really surprised, but you don't know until you try. Hope you all enjoyed. If you can give me a like and a subscribe, it'd be appreciated. And take care all, and tight lines.